Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Nedarim. We are up to Perek Gimel Mishnah Yud. Today's Mishnah should be Le'ilun Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Ranbayev, Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov ben Chana bad Miriam, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen. And Avdil ben Chaim lechaim v'derefua shelemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa betoch shar chulei Israel. The Mishnah begins, Anoder mishoftei Shabbat asur b'Yisrael v'asur b'kutim. One who makes a neder that prohibits benefit from those who rest on Shabbat. It's forbidden to have benefit from both Jews and Kutim because both groups rest on Shabbat. The Kutim were a group of people who settled in Eretz Yisrael toward the end of the First Temple era. When they were attacked by lions, they converted to Judaism in the hope of being saved. But after their conversion, they returned to many of their old beliefs and practices. This is brought in Sefer Melachim, Sefer Bet, chapter 17, Psukim 26 to 41. Nevertheless, according to the Tana of our Mishnah, their conversion was valid. And therefore, because both groups rest on Shabbat, he is prohibited to benefit from both Jews and Kutim. Now, the Kutim observe the biblical commandments. Non-Jews, however, are not included in the Neder, even if they rest on Shabbat, because the term Shoftei Shabbat, those who rest on Shabbat, refers to people who rest on Shabbat because they are commanded to do so. This does not include non-Jews who are not commanded to keep Shabbat. Me'ochlei shum asur b'Yisrael v'asur b'kutim. One who makes a neder that prohibits benefit from those who eat garlic is forbidden to have benefit from Jews and Kutim because both groups eat garlic on Friday night. Ezra Sofer decreed that Jewish men must eat garlic on Friday night when most couples have marital relations because garlic increases a man's seed. Although Kutim did not keep rabbinic law, they chose to observe this decree because they found it to their liking. Me'olei Yerushalayim asur b'Yisrael mutar b'kutim. One who makes a neder that prohibits benefit from those who ascend to Yerushalayim is forbidden to have benefit from Jews because they go to Yerushalayim for the festivals, but he is permitted to have benefit from Kutim who go to Mount Gerizim instead. All Jewish men are obligated to visit the temple in Yerushalayim on the festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, as it says in Sefer Dvarim, chapter 16, verse 16. Although this commandment applies to the Kutim as well, they did not observe it because they hated Yerushalayim and chose Mount Gerizim as their place of worship. That is the end of Mishnah Yud. We continue now with Mishnah Yud Aleph. Konam sheni ne'eneh lebnei Noach. If someone says Konam that I do not have benefit from the descendants of Noach, his words mean the descendants of Noach are like a Konam to me, therefore I will not have benefit from them. Mutar b'Yisrael is permitted to have benefit from Jews because they are not called descendants of Noach. Since Noach and his children were the only humans spared in the great flood, all of humanity is descended from Noach. Nevertheless, Avram, the first Jew, and his offspring are not called descendants of Noach. V'asur b'mot ha'olam, but he is forbidden to have benefit from the other nations of the world, who are all descended from Noach. The neder includes even the descendants of Ishmael and Esav, although Ishmael was the son of Avram and Esav was the grandson of Avraham. Sheni ne'eneh lezer Avraham. If someone says Konam that I do not have benefit from the offspring of Avraham, asur b'Yisrael, he is forbidden to benefit from Jews, and this includes converts. They too can be called descendants of Avraham because the Torah states in Sefer Bereshit, chapter 17, verse 5, Avamon goim netaticha, I have made you Avraham father of a multitude of nations, so it does include converts as well. Mutar b'mot olam, but he is permitted to benefit from all the other nations of the world. He may even benefit from the descendants of Ishmael and Esav because it is derived from the Torah in Sefer Bereshit, chapter 21, verse 12, that Avraham's line runs only through his son Yitzchak and Yitzchak's son Yaakov, and not through Ishmael or Esav. The Mishnah explains how to avoid benefiting from a Jew when one is buying goods from him or selling goods to him. She'eni ne'eneh leYisrael. If someone says Konam that I do not have benefit from a Jew, he is forbidden to do business with another Jew unless lokeach beyoter u'mocher bepachot. He buys for more than the regular price and he sells for less. The Gemara on page 31b in Masechet Nedarim explains that the Mishnah refers to merchandise for which the demand is neither particularly high nor particularly low but average. In that case, a transaction made at the regular price benefits both the buyer and the seller. Therefore, regardless of whether the one who made the neder is buying or selling, the price must be changed so that he does not gain any profit. The person who made the neder did not prohibit a Jew's possessions to himself because then the possessions themselves will be forbidden. So even if he bought them for much more than regular price, he may not benefit from them. Rather, the neder prohibited benefiting from the Jew himself, in which case buying his possessions is permitted as long as one buys them at a loss. If someone says konam, that a Jew does not have benefit from me, other Jews are forbidden to do business with him unless he buys from them for less than the regular price and he sells to them for more, provided of course that they listen to him, meaning they're willing to do this since they lose in these transactions. If someone says konam, that I do not have benefit from Jews or Jews for me, no business may be done between him and another Jew. He may not conduct business with any Jew regardless of the price, because one or both of the parties will certainly benefit from the transaction. Yahaneh lenochrim, he may benefit only from members of the other nations of the world. Now, more cases in which the meaning of a neder is determined by how people understand it. Konam sheini neleh la'arelim. If someone says konam, that I do not have benefit from the arelim, literally uncircumcised, mutar ba'arlei Israel, he is permitted to have benefit even from uncircumcised Jews, because Jews are not called arelim. Now, there are situations in which even observant Jews are not circumcised. For example, if someone's brothers died as a result of circumcision, he may not be circumcised out of fear that he too may die. And he is forbidden to benefit even from circumcised non-Jews, because non-Jews are called arelim. When a person says arelim, literally uncircumcised, he refers to those who do not believe in the mitzvah of milah. He therefore includes non-Jews and excludes Jews whether they or not they are circumcised. Konam sheni ne'eneh lamulim. If someone says konam, that I do not have benefit from the mulim, literally circumcised, asur ba'arlei Israel, he is forbidden to have benefit even from the uncircumcised Jews, because Jews are called mulim. The term mulim, literally circumcised, refers to those who believe in the mitzvah of milah, circumcision, even if they happen not to be circumcised. Mutar b'mulei akum, and he is permitted to benefit even from circumcised non-Jews, because non-Jews are not called mulim. The Mishnah explains how we know that the term arelim refers to all non-Jews. Shena orla kiruya l'shem akum. It is because the term orla, arel, or arelim is used only to refer to the non-Jewish nations. Shenemar, as it is stated, ki chol hagoyim arelim v'chol beit Yisrael arlelev. For all the nations are arelim, and the entire house of Israel are uncircumcised of heart. This is in Yirmiyahu chapter 9 verse 25. The verse refers to all non-Jewish nations as arelim, even those who practice circumcision. The Omer, and it says in another verse, Vaya Pelishti Arel Hazeh, and this Plishti Goliath the Arel shall be, etc. This is in the book of Shmuel, book 1, chapter 17, verse 36. David called Goliath an Arel, although he did not know whether Goliath was circumcised or not. It is possible, though uncommon, for someone to be born circumcised without a foreskin, but again, we're using the verse to say that non-Jewish nations are referred to as Arelim. The Omer, and it says in a third verse, Pen tisamachna benot Pelishtim, pen ta'alozna benot ha'arelim. Lest the daughters of the Pelishtim rejoice, lest the daughters of the Arelim be jubilant. This is in the book of Shmuel, book 2, chapter 1, verse 20. The Pelishtim are called Arelim, even though in such a large nation, a small number must have been born without foreskins. And although the meaning of Nedarim follows the language of people and not necessarily the language of the Torah, the Mishnah cites these verses because the popular meaning of Arelim was not known with certainty. Another teaching about the term arelim, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, Me'usa orla shenitganu ba rishaim. The orla, the foreskin, is repulsive, as we see from the fact that it is used to insult the wicked. Shene'emar, as it says, Ki chol hagoyim arelim, for all the nations are arelim. The verse uses arelim as an insult, as is evident from the context, for all the nations are arelim, and the entire house of Israel uncircumcised of heart. The Mishnah cites 6 teachings about the importance of the mitzvah of milah, circumcision. Rabbi Ishmael says, Gedula milah shenichretu aleh 13 britot. The mitzvah of milah is great because 13 covenants were made concerning it. When God instructed Avraham with the mitzvah of milah, he made a covenant, a brit with Avraham. The word brit appears 13 times in various forms in that passage in Sefer Bereshit, chapter 17, verses 1 through 22. Rabbi Yossi says, Gedula milah shedochat Shabbat chamura. The mitzvah of milah is great because it overrides the prohibition of Shabbat, which is strict. The Torah teaches in Vayikra chapter 12 verse 3 that an infant is circumcised on the 8th day even if it is Shabbat, despite the fact that making a wound on Shabbat is forbidden. Rabbi Yeshua ben Korcha says, Gedula milah shelo nitla lo leMoshe atzik alea melo sha'ah. The mitzvah of milah is great because on account of neglecting it, the righteous Moshe was not spared for even one moment. When Moshe delayed the milah of his second son Eliezer, an angel immediately came to punish him, as related in Sefer Shemot, chapter 4, verses 24 through 26. Rabbi Nechemia says, Gedolah milah shedochat negaim. The mitzvah of milah is great because it overrides the prohibition of tzarat afflictions. Tzarat is a disease of the skin that is described in Vayikra chapter 13. The Torah forbids cutting off a patch of tzarat from one's skin, as it says in Devarim chapter 24 verse 8. However, the sages derive from a verse in Vayikra chapter 12 verse 13 that if tzarat is present on the foreskin, milah must be performed, despite the fact that it will remove the tzarat. Rebbe says, Gedolah milah shekol ha-mitzvot she'asa Avraham Avinu lo nikra shalem ad shemal. The mitzvah of milah is great because regardless of all the mitzvot that Avraham our father performed, he was not called complete until he circumcised himself. Shneimar, as it is stated in Sefer Bereshit chapter 17 verse 1, Hitalech lefanai v'yeh tamim, walk before me and be complete. After this verse, walk before me, be complete, the Torah states, I will set my brit covenant between me and you, which refers to the brit of milah, as it says in Sefer, in Masechet Nedarim, page 32a. The first verse can therefore be interpreted as follows: walk before me in fulfilling the mitzvah of milah, and you will thereby be complete. Davar acher, Rebbe stated another point about the importance of milah. Gedolah milah shel malehi lo bara kadosh baruch hu et olamo. The mitzvah of milah is great because if not for it, Hashem, the Holy One, blessed is He, would have not created His world. Shneimar, as it says in Sefer Yirmiyahu chapter 33 verse 25, Ko amar Adonai, so said Hashem, Im lo biriti omam v'layla, if not for my covenant of milah, which is upon you day and night, Chukot shamayim v'aretz usamti, I would not have established the natural laws of heaven and earth. Although the mitzvah of milah can be performed only in the daytime, the verse calls it a brit that applies day and night because it remains upon a man at all times. And that is the Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.